Hello everyone. Sorry, I had a little problem with the streaming, and but I'm ready now to give you some idea regarding the topic of today is the knees. So we're gonna talk about. It's gonna be a brief because basically, what is supposed to be done. Ciao, ciao, ciao ragazzi, come state? Mi mancate. Va bene, va. Dunque, so we talk about the knees. I'm not sure if you follow my posts, because I think is something that is important. Obviously, is a very big joint in our drive or leg. In order to use the leg, obviously we have to use the knees. If you want to swing, you have to go up and down. Therefore, knees are involved. But basically, anything that we do, knees are important. But we have to start thinking that the knee is basically the connection between. I'm gonna try and make it simple. I don't want to be a doctor now, okay? But it's the connection is between this bone, which is the femur. Imagine this is your hip, the head with some hair, the femur, and this is your shin bone with my big feet here. Can you see? I think yes. So basically, the knees is basically the joint between these two leverage. Leverage are used to move. We need leverage in order to push weight in a direction or pull it. So it is a joint point, okay, let's say. Now, what can we do with these two bones? Obviously, we cannot, if I would say to you, sorry, this earphone is a bit tricky. Can you put the foot here? So can we do something like this? We can't. So therefore, the knees cannot go forward. You can try. Try now, get up. Unless you are an ostrich. If you're an ostrich, then it's okay. But unless you are an ostrich, you are not able to do this movement. Okay? So to make this angle smaller, you can't. Okay? But you have to keep the femur still. So this movement cannot be done. Yeah? So they can only, if we want to say, they can only do this movement. So I can bring this here. Yeah? So that's my feet. Yeah? So they can make this angle smaller. Not 180, but let's say smaller, or even higher here, if we want. Yeah? So we could say, this is a strong statement, that the knees can only bend backward. They cannot bend forward, let's say. Okay, so they cannot do this movement, but they can only do this. So they can make this angle smaller. Yeah, so let's use that strong statement, but I think you understand what I'm talking about. They can only bend backward. Okay, so if I want to go forward, so let's say that my idea is to do a step, okay, and we are like this. Yeah, so that's the hip. We are thinking that the knees go forward. Actually, it's not the knees. This movement is done, the movement when we say, bring your knees forward, the movement is not done here, the movement is done here. So is the end is making sure that your shin bone is moving that direction. Okay? Therefore, the knee will be here. Yeah? But the main movement is done in the ankle, not in the knees. I want you to try and do something. If you get a chair, I don't know, you don't see it. I get a chair here. Let's see if you can see. Yes? If you get a chair and you sit, now the knees bend backward now. But I sit, I did not progress, so I went backward. So if I get up, my knees here will stretch, but I go forward. If I really bend my knee, like we're thinking sometimes, bend the knee, I will go backward and sitting on the chair. Okay, so what I see often is that somebody, or we try to, let's say, while we're going forward, we're thinking, let's bend the knee. And what's going to happen that you see people sitting down instead of progressing. And the more you bend, the more you sit. Okay, the more you do that action. So the joint, they become here smaller, therefore you sit. Okay, so by, let's say, doing an action in this area, you normally sit. Clear? I hope that's clear. So if you feel you bend in the knee, you pretty much sit down. Okay? And if you are going forward, instead of thinking bending the knees, you should think about changing the angle in the ankle. Therefore, because this is one piece, you will see the knees going forward. Obviously, if you look from top, you look at your knee, you will see that the knees is going, let me see. You will see that my knee is going forward, yeah? But I'm not bending the knee because I will sit. I am moving the shin bone forward. So I'm making this angle I'm making the angle in the feet and shin smaller, and therefore I have a feel that my knees are going forward, but I actually don't bend it. So we can say that if I decide to take a step forward and I want to have a big drive, yes, and I want to use my leg, and I have to bend it. In order to get a drive, you need to get a flexion. So flexion, extension, that's how we use the leg. We bend and stretch. But so if let's say I want a big drive from this guy here, okay, my aim will be to make, okay, I'm gonna do it in red. If this is the feet, that's the knee. My aim is to make this shin bone here. Okay? I know you will not be able to do this much because you're gonna hurt yourself. But so yes, you went down, but you went forward. So the knees is here, but you did the work here. Okay? Because if you only feel the knees, you will sit like we sit on the floor, and you will feel that the more you bend, this is the feeling, the more you bend, the less you go forward because you're actually going backward. Yeah? So clear? If I go forward and I want a big drive and I want a big thrust and I want to use the leg and I want to drive like maniac, okay, if the step allowed me, and I bend the knee, I will be impotent because I go back. Nobody want to be impotent, especially the men. Okay? Now, different thing is if you go backward. So if the person that goes backward, bend the knee. Okay? So let's have a look what I'm talking about. So this is now the same person now is going backward. I'm gonna make it. So it's got the nose here. Look at that big nose, yeah? So it goes backward. So the leg then is now here. Okay, so this, check. I hope I'm clear. If I'm not clear, just shoot your question on the chat there, on the right hand side. Okay, so this is my foot. Can you see my big toe? So I'm going that direction. Now I can bend the knee. So now, yes, I feel that by doing that, so my femur will be here. So now I bend the knee. You can see. So one thing is going backward and have a feeling of bending the knee. Let me see. Of bending the knee, like that. If I go forward, I never feel that. I only feel it if I move backward. Okay? Now, the knee is a very simple, well, complex and big joint, but very, very simple movement. You know, I heard sometimes that people say you can do this movement on the knee. Well, you shouldn't do any of those movements. The only thing the knees can do is this and this. So it can bend backward and get back to straight. Now, the amount that you do of that depends on the step that you want to dance, depends on how much drive you want, depends on many factors. But it's as simple as this. That's the connection. This is the knee. The knees can only do that and that, that and that. So if I go forward, I will move the shin bone. In the knee, obviously you will see this changing, but I don't go like this because now I'm sitting. So the main leverage, the main hinge is here in the ankle. If I go back, no, then yes, I will feel that my knees are well engaged. Okay, now if you do this as with partner, which is that's what we do, ballroom dancing, that's what we're talking about, I guess. If you do this with a partner, what is the problem? We can all bend the knees. Yeah, I don't think unless you have a, how do you say, a problem with your leg, we can all do that. We can make that range. We can all have that range. Yeah. Now, what is difficult? The difficulty is that we have to do it at the same amount. Because if we bend different amount, it's going to be a little bit difficult. We have to do the same amount, and also we have to do it at the same time. Okay, so in order to conclude this lesson, and again, if you have a question, just write it there. We can bullet point few things. The knees only bend backward. Let's say that, yeah? So you understand why. I'm using this strong sentence. If I go forward, I never think of bending my knee. I will have to use the ankle and feel that the shin bone is making that angle. If you want to try and feel the real action of the knee, you sit on the chair and stand up and sit and stand up. But that will bring you backward. So if I go forward, I don't think of the knees. I think only of the shin bone and ankle. If I go backward, after my feet is in position, then yes, my knees will have to bend backward. They have to receive my weight. Okay, so they are different, same simple movement, but one forward, we're thinking one thing, and back is different. Now, in the couple, what makes it difficult is the amount that we bend it and the timing. Okay? So that the knees don't have anything else to do. Now the amount and the timing, well, that comes from knowledge. Obviously, in your lesson you should know different step, different dance, different amount, different. So that become, is not something that I can actually explain over the internet. But I can, if you think about bending the knee because you want to drive, this is it. What you can do is already in here. Okay? I hope I help you. If you like it, just share with your friend. And I hope, we can all go back together in the dancing hall soon. We will see where life will take us. Stay safe. And, even if you cannot practice, remember that you can do a lot to train your body, get your body in good condition for when you start dancing again. Stretching is imperative, I would say, to keep the muscle long. Otherwise, you will, when you start and you're all fired up because you want to dance, you're gonna hurt yourself, and then you have to stop again. So do not be lazy. Stretch, exercise. Okay. All right, that's good. I hope I help you. Meanwhile, I will write to you, or I will write again with some stupid post as usual. When is the next lesson? Okay, this doing the live is making it for me a little bit easier. So I don't have to edit and do all the other rubbish. Prego, grazie a tutti. Yeah, might say maybe the dancing is gonna be the last unless we wear mask and glove. Well, don't know. We'll see. We'll see where they will tell us. I hope vaccines coming soon. Okay, ciao guys. Arrivederci. I'll wait for 30 seconds if you have any question. If not, if you don't have any question, you know why? I was very clear. No question? Very clear. Ciao. Ciao ragazzi.